Hi, I've been asked to do a testimonial um, for Francis' business here, his land business, and I'm working right now, so I do apologize. Um, but it's been brought to my attention that a lot of people are a little iffy about how the process works. And me personally, from coming from a completely remote background, I do not have a car, I do not drive, and I live in the city for job security. And you know, plan on moving to my land within the next few years for an early retirement. Um, I needed someone that understood my situation and helped me through every step of it. Being a first-time land buyer at that, I've never done this before. So Francis was really awesome. I feel like he went above and beyond more than any other land seller or broker I've ever talked to. So I'll get into this, not drag it out too much. What had happened was found him on Facebook. Francis had posted a little plot of land here in Texas on Facebook, not too far from where I'm at, and it was great. The area was beautiful, lots of trees, green, good neighbors, in very small, tiny areas. So it's not a lot. It's away from the city, and that's what I want. And it was unrestricted property, and so now I can do whatever I want with it. Without permits, I don't need permits. So there's a lot of scammers on Facebook, and I went through a lot and vetted them. And if they don't ask you questions, they don't answer your questions when you ask, like, hey, can I get the property ID? Can I get a plat map or something? Can you provide anything that I can look up at the county record? If they don't provide that, it's a scam. There's no reason that they should not and cannot provide that, because then you can do your due diligence and you can look up on the county website, which Francis helped me, by the way, figure out for the county I was looking at. And I found everything I needed, right? The deed listed there, who owns it, restrictions that come with the land, or anything else. And you can do your own due diligence from there, what the county or state requires. I'll start with, I made a little keynote here, and my thoughts on closing. I was a little hesitant because, again, this is my first time, and it's a lot of money to give someone when you're just trying to get through. So did I feel hesitant, uncertain, or scamish when it came to using that Safe Funds website? Absolutely. I could not find much information about Safe Funds online. There was one Quora.com website mentioned about Safe Funds, and someone was asking if it's real or a scam, and it got some mixed messages on there, but they have been around for a while. I called their support. I did some background search on the company. They've been around for a while. There's nothing bad on them. I couldn't find anything that would make me not want to move forward with this. The closing was awesome. I mean, from start to finish, it was fast. I think it took less than a month. Once I worked out some of my own kinks that I had with getting money transferred, because the bank I had at the time did not support Zelle, right, or wiring, so I had to get a new bank account, which delayed the process. So honestly, it probably could have been faster. But all in all, less than a month to get all the deed paperwork sent to the courthouse, all signed over to my name. It's mine, right? I can walk around my property now. The process from A to Z. I pretty much covered a bit of that, but I reached out and asked some questions. I was very clear and upfront and transparent with my concerns. Francis was very, he communicated and articulated well. He got on the phone with me first thing. He wanted to take it off text and chat, because really I was slamming the keyboard. Right? I used my voice IP, so I'm able to text from my computer. It was just too much, and I'm glad he did that. So yeah, he put a lot of my worries at ease, and my anxiety instantly dropped. When I did my own due diligence, he taught me how to kind of find this stuff out for my own due diligence, and I confirmed this with a friend that does this as well. So he said it looks fine and clean. Again, I'm gonna touch base on Safe Funds again. It feels scammy. It looks like an early 90s, early 2000s website, and it does, for a reason. Its only job is to hold money for you. You release the funds to the seller when you feel like all burdens have been met, all agreements have been met, and that was the biggest thing right there for me, because I actually asked to do a larger down payment, so I could do a shorter time of payments for a smaller amount. And he managed to do that with the 2,000 and spread it up the rest of the difference across the payments for me. I'm not sure if he does that for everyone, but I asked, and he said he could do it, and we went from there. So Yeah, Safe Funds was the easiest method I have ever found um, to send a down payment. It was clean. It costed me no money. What he asked for the down payment, I sent, and it costed me $0. I believe the seller is who pays the fees once you release the funds to them, and then they can do whatever they want with it. It was really fast. I think the only thing I had with Safe Funds was because I opened a brand new checking account that supported Zelle. I chose the method to Zelle it to Safe Funds, and because it was my first Zelle ever transaction on that account, they delayed it by 3 to 5 days, which Safe Funds actually reached out and explained to me why. So if you ever have any issues with Safe Funds, please call. It was a really nice old man on there that every time I call, downright reminds me of my grandpa. So just call him. He's an awesome guy. Let me see here. Yeah, the process was very quick getting my property into my name. I was shocked at how fast the county clerks here worked. I even called and confirmed that the ladies at my county clerk were just on it. It was really relieving to see my name on there. Just public record, So, after I had all this, as I did my own due diligence, as I asked a few questions with Francis and how about certain things, he would correct me. And, I got ahead of myself with some things, and I would do my math wrong, actually. And I thinking I was doing quickly doing math, and then he would say, no, this is how it's laid out. And he was right. So, honestly, they kept the promise. I had no concerns throughout the entire process. Francis was amazing. His land company is outstanding. The description on his website and Facebook were exactly accurate, to the point. I mean, straight to the property markers. Everything. I was very impressed. There was no surprises that I found, but you always do your due diligence again. Let me see here. My key points here. I don't feel like they took advantage of me in any way. I feel like this was a very fair price for what I walked into. It's unbelievable. Again, it's my first purchase, my first property purchase. And lands, you're not making anymore. And for an unrestricted plat in a very convenient, beautiful spot with lakes nearby, I can't ask for more. I think they did great. I couldn't find anything wrong, and I confirmed again with the county. There's nothing wrong with the property. So I'm not going to wake up to any surprises. I would recommend closing with them. In fact, I have been talking to Francis about wanting to try to get some more properties around me. And I'm fine with whatever he wants to charge me for that, as long as, this consistent quality of service remains. Right? I don't want to do all that extra work. I work 2 jobs full time, open to close, sunset to sunrise, sometimes sunrise to sunset. Mostly night shift, but I chose to have them handle the closing for me. I didn't use a title company or like a real estate agent because this was the quickest path, and I did my own due diligence before making that decision. And he was able to. It was quick. Because I was remote and I was not in person with them. We mailed packages, back and forth. Signed the paperwork, got my notarization, sent it back. He sent it into the county, and from there I saw it show up in the courthouse. All within a week, I believe, a week or 2 weeks. So, yeah, I am definitely gonna buy from him again. Again, I know it seems kind of sketchy and weird because there's a lot of scammers out there, but Safe Funds was probably the coolest and easiest way I was able to put a confirmed, down payment without having to be like, is he going to run with my money? Am I not going to get what I want? This was absolutely hands down easy. I would use Safe Funds again, and personally, I'm going to start using Safe Funds for a lot of my other projects, side gigs that I have. So, I hope this testimonial works. I'm very happy with my purchase of my land. I've been clearing the land lately, and I could put a 5th wheel on it. So, again, thank you, Francis. And whoever is watching this testimonial, I'm sorry for the ADHD approach to this, but, I'm not usually one to go on camera, but I wanted to put everybody at ease, So, thank you. Thank you for watching.